Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jason. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about my favorite backpacking shoe of 2021. But before we do that, if you are new here, my channel is all about backpacking, kayak camping, speed hiking challenges, and a little bit of farming thrown in from time to time. So if any of those things interest you, please consider being a subscriber so you can follow along in all my adventures during 2021. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about my favorite backpacking shoe for 2021, the Altra Olympus 4. I absolutely love these shoes. They are amazing. When I find a piece of gear that I'm passionate about and it helps me do what I like to do better, I like to talk about it. So let's dive in and take a closer look at why I like the Altra Olympus 4s. I just want to share with you my story about why I like these shoes so much and why they're going to be my backpacking shoe for 2021. Now, I know that some of you out there are thinking to yourself right now, Jason, that stack height is way too thick. I'm going to roll my ankle on the trail. Or maybe you're thinking to yourself that you're not going to feel connected to the surfaces that you're walking on. Well, I'm here to tell you that in my experience, that has not been the case at all. I have not rolled my ankle once in 400 miles, and I feel totally connected to the surfaces that I'm walking on. Maybe not so much as with the Lone Peaks, but it is a negligible difference in my opinion. For me, the Olympus 4s were true to size and trail ready right out of the box. Now I know many of you out there who have worn Altras over the years, especially some of the later versions, they're not always true to size. But for me, every pair of Altras I've ever purchased have been true to size. I wear a size 11 and they have all been trail ready right out of the box. If you're not familiar with Altra shoes, they are known for their wide foot-shaped toe box, which allows your toes to splay and be more comfortable after a long day on the trail. They are also known for their zero drop platform, which means there is no difference in height from toe to heel. Now, I jumped on the Altra bandwagon probably about 3.5 years ago while looking for an alternative to my hiking boots. I stumbled across Altras and I purchased my first pair, which were Lone Peak 3s. After going through those, I purchased a pair of 4s. Then I wanted something a little thicker in the heel and the stack height, and I went to the Timp 1.5s. Went through 2 pairs of Timp 1.5s and then into a pair of 4.5s, Lone Peak 4.5s, which I'm currently still wearing on shorter trips, and I absolutely love those shoes. Now, the Altra Olympus is known for its extra thick stack height. It's like 33 or 37 millimeters, I can't remember exactly, but it is so cushiony and comfortable. And for someone like me who is dealing with a minor case of plantar fasciitis in my left foot, I can still go out and crank out 30 to 40 miles on the trail and not be in pain on my heel like so many other shoes that I've worn in the past. I hesitated on purchasing these for quite some time, and I wanted something a little more comfortable for long days on the trail. And these shoes were not cheap. They cost me $170, and that's why I hesitated purchasing them. And also, I didn't have a store nearby where I could go try them on. But I finally pulled the trigger, and boy, was it a good decision, because I absolutely love my Olympus 4s. I wear them everywhere, and I have about 400 miles on this pair alone, with about half of those miles being on the road and about half of those on trail. Now let's talk about some of the things I really love about the Olympus 4s. First of all, I've already mentioned it, they're known for their foot-shaped toe box. My foot stays so comfortable in these. I don't ever get blisters, and a good example of that is I recently set an 84-mile FKT, which stands for fastest known time, which is just a speed record, on the Susquehanna Trail in Pennsylvania. And I hiked straight through the night, never stopping, and I did not get any blisters or hot spots. So that's saying something about the Altra shoes. They're so comfortable. Next, I really like the Vibram rubber sole. They are very grippy, and I've never had any slips or falls while rock hopping across creeks or rivers. Now, something I didn't think I would like is this extra thin tongue. I'm used to the more padded tongue like on the Lone Peaks, but I'm really happy with them. I feel like the upper part of my foot maybe sweats a little less by having this thin tongue. I also really like this mesh area in the front of the shoe. They breathe really well. I was afraid they wouldn't hold up well because it does seem like it needs to be a little more durable like on the Lone Peaks, but after 400 miles, there's no rips or tears or snags, so I'm really happy with the mesh on the front of the shoe. And like most Altras, they are also known for their gator trap system. There is a loop on the front of the shoe where you can hook your gaiter, and also in the back there's Velcro already on the shoe for attaching your gaiter. And I wear Dirty Girl gaiters to keep out debris while I'm backpacking, and I would never go on a trip without them. So it's awesome that a lot of the Ultra shoes come ready for gaiters. Another amazing thing about the Olympus Force is the toe cap actually stays glued to the shoe. On all of my Lone Peaks, they have come unglued and start peeling away from the shoe after 30 or 40 miles. And you either got to deal with it or put shoe goo in there periodically to glue it back. But they also stayed glued on my Timp 1.5s. They're obviously doing something different on the Timps and the Olympuses because they are not peeling away from the toe cap at all. They also have a pretty firm and rigid toe box area up front. So if you're prone to kicking roots and rocks while out hiking, the Olympus might be for you. They definitely give a little bit of extra protection from kicking roots and rocks. And finally, the insoles that come stock in the Olympus Force, I'm happy with them. I haven't had to replace them. They don't move around on me. I know a lot of people like to put aftermarket insoles in there, and I have done that on my Lone Peaks in the past, but it's difficult finding a good pair that you can get to fit that wide shaped toe box. I know there's some out there that do fit, but I'm happy with the stock insoles. They have not given me any issues at all. Now let's talk about the few things that I don't like about the Olympus Force. I'm not crazy about this soft foam rubber on the bottom of the shoe. I don't understand why they can't just use Vibram rubber throughout the entire bottom of the shoe like on the Lone Peaks. I imagine they do it so it's more comfortable and softer feeling while hiking, but it's definitely wearing down quicker and not holding up as long as I would like. Also, the mesh area, I'm just so worried that I'm going to tear that and get it snagged on something that's going to rip open. But you know, it's held up for 400 miles, so I guess it's not really that big of an issue, but it just seems like it might be better to have the type of material that's on the Lone Peaks because that seems really durable. Next, I got to mention the laces. These are not the stock laces that came on the Olympus Force. I swapped them out with the ones on my Lone Peak Force. The ones that came stock on the Olympus Force were just a little thin and a little slick, and I just seemed like I had problems getting them to grip well when I was trying to really snug them up on my feet to go out for a run. And finally, the last thing I don't really like about the Olympus Force is they almost seem too squishy. Now I know that contradicts what I said earlier about why I like the Olympus Force, because they are softer and have that thicker stack height, but it almost feels like it absorbs some of my energy when I'm running in them and maybe makes my stride not quite as efficient as it could be. And it also could be because they have 400 miles on them and they're starting to break down a little bit. But, you know, overall, it is still a great shoe, and it's not enough to make me not want this to be my go-to backpacking shoe for 2021. If you are a thru hiker currently wearing Lone Peaks and suffering from heel pain and foot pain after a long day in the trail and considering something different, I would highly recommend the Olympus Force. You will not be disappointed. Alrighty folks, that about wraps up everything I have to say about the Altra Olympus Force. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching, and if you found any value in this video, please hit that thumbs up button and the notification bell for more videos in the future. And until next time, I'm Jason wishing you a great time on your next adventure.